what an unbelievable example. All right, we've got tons of people lined up for questions, so unfortunately, I don't get to ask anymore. We're gonna go to Randy in Florida. Randy, you're up.
It's not a question, it's a comment. Thank you guys for being here. Last year, we had the privilege of having Jeremy on, and I didn't really know anything about him before, but I will simply tell you, he's, I think, the best follow on LinkedIn. So the reason I say that is because he challenges you to think differently. And what I heard from Henrik, who I am now going to start following, is that he has that same DNA that Jeremy does. So if you're not following Jeremy and Henrik, you're crazy. And Jeremy, the one thing that stands out from my journal was when you suggested having, instead of the suggestion box, the problem box. And I presented that to somebody and it was very effective. So thank you. No question. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here today.
I think that Randy, first of all, you're amazing, and thank you for the compliment. And I agree, everyone should follow Henrik. The thing about problems, and it's related obviously to what Henrik was just saying, just developing an attunement to problems is a skill that everybody can do. You know, you hear about this kind of apocryphal leader that says, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. We all know that's not an innovation leader. Leaders who are innovative love problems, like, ooh, that's a good problem, right? And having as Randy said, having a problem box next to the suggestion box really normalizes I'm gonna make the most obvious kindergarten statement of the whole session right now, just for the sake of anyone who, like me, is very simple-minded. A problem is necessary to a solution. And a lot of times we think about problem solving, we want to innovate and all that stuff, and yet we don't have a problem. And so actually attending to the problem and having a practice, as Randy mentioned, around, capturing problems is a really simple practice that I have my kids do it. I mean, we could talk about kids doing entrepreneurship. Being aware of problems is the first step to being an innovator.
I will also just add, I agree with that. My post-it notes goes, it sucks that, because I feel like if you have a good "it sucks that" statement, it's just gold for entrepreneurship. The second thing is that nobody will tell you their idea. They'll be like, sign an NDA. But if you ask them what are the big problems, they will babble on forever. And one of the reasons why we started down in the corporate stuff was I was flying from London to New York, and I sat next to a gentleman from Maersk, the shipping company. And he was saying that they were shipping $1 billion worth of empty containers from the US back to China every year. And meanwhile, I had just met these two entrepreneurs that were building another stupid photo sharing app that the world didn't need. And so I was like, hey, just only we can get more of the entrepreneurs to kind of understand what are some meaningful problems out there. And so it's just another way of making the same point that problems. Once you have well-defined problems, the ideas tend to be relatively easier to kind of get by, but good problem statements are gold.